Why does North Korea send balloons carrying trash and feces over to South Korea? And how did China decide to fake their highest waterfall, which is protected by UNESCO? These are just some of the topics of this new episode. Stay until the end to see the new spiders on Mars, and if there will soon be a computer processor with living human tissue. Let's start. Ticks cause an allergy to meat. Every summer, ticks wake up and start their attack, which can cause some pretty serious health problems. However, one type of tick in the US has raised the bar and can now cause an allergy to red meat in humans. It is estimated that about 450,000 Americans are affected, which is quite a lot. The new disease is called alpha-gal syndrome. Alpha-gal is a carbohydrate found in mammal meats such as pork, beef, and products made from mammals such as milk, minced meat, and some medicines. If a person has been bitten by a tick with this infection and then consumes red meat, he or she may experience allergic symptoms such as nausea, difficulty breathing, diarrhea, cough, and others. The symptoms themselves appear 2 to 6 hours after taking a product containing alpha-gal carbohydrates. So far, the southern, midwestern, and mid-Atlantic regions of the United States are most affected. There is still no confirmed information whether a person can be cured or will remain allergic to meat for life. Influencer of God. Yes, God already has an influencer. We live in modern times after all. However, the story is quite inspiring. It is about the 15-year-old Carlo Acutis, who will be the first millennial to become a Christian saint. The boy earned the nickname God's influencer because, despite his age, he was not only religious, but also helped to spread Catholic teachings on the internet. Carlo died in 2006 from leukemia, but before that he created websites related to religion and started a platform that documents every newly reported miracle related to the various saints. For someone to be canonized in the Catholic Church, at least 2 proven miracles must be associated with his memory. And of course, the Pope personally takes care of the ceremony. The first official miracle was the healing of a student from Florence with a severe cranial brain injury, whose parents prayed to Carlo, and recently the healing of a boy from Brazil with a congenital disease of the pancreas was officially recognized as his second work. Rich people avoid electric cars. A Japanese journalist made an investigation during the Davos Forum in January, which received a wide response abroad. One of the goals of its participants is to enforce the use of electric cars because they are supposedly very eco-friendly. However, it turns out that the super-rich themselves do not trust electric vehicles at all and continue to drive in normal cars with gasoline engines. A bit hypocritical. The reporter interviewed VIP drivers who officially stated that they are not allowed to carry elite passengers in electric cars because it is dangerous, as there is an increased risk of self-ignition. Separately, they are ineffective in winter. And in a thunderstorm, here I quote, "It is a straight game of Russian roulette." Parking lots have appeared around the world in which parking of electric vehicles is prohibited. That's the case at Alderhay Hospital in Liverpool, where a father of a sick child learned this the hard way. He took his child to get emergency care, but the first thing he faced was getting kicked out of the parking lot because the parking of electric cars was prohibited there. In general, after the rise of electric cars, things are now in the balance. In Germany, 100,000 EVs are waiting for new owners, and in California, they will be taxed. A tribe with the internet from Elon Musk got addicted to adult movies. As we know, in the Amazon jungle there are isolated tribes, such as the Marubo people, who were not overthrown by the vices of civilization. They come after the tribe gets an internet connection through Elon Musk's Starlink satellites. Initially, the idea was noble, Marubo people to get quick help over the internet in case of an emergency, such as a snake bite. Access to the internet, however, also has a dark side, as we all know, and the tribe quickly discovered it. The youths of the tribe found that they could watch adult films, which they liked so much that they became addicted to them. Constantly staring at passionate scenes led to changes in their behavior. Some became sexually aggressive, while others simply could not move eye from the screens. Elon Musk denied the information, specifying that several minors from the tribe were simply sharing nude photos from the internet and nothing more. Boeing is having problems. I don't know if you've heard, but there's a huge scandal going on in the US right now related to manufacturing problems in Boeing's 787 Dreamliner and 777 models. Reports have been made that the machines have serious design flaws that make them dangerous. The company knew this, but kept quiet about it. Boeing denies all accusations and states that its planes are safe and sound, but the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration has launched an investigation, including a criminal one. The company was left with little choice, and it claimed responsibility for at least 2 plane crashes, sending its stock down more than 30%. The big problem came after 2 key witnesses against the company died under suspicious circumstances within just 2 months. The first was found in his car with a gunshot wound to the head, and the second died of a mysterious infection within days. The suspicions are that the problematic planes are much more dangerous, and that is why Boeing eliminated the witnesses. Let's see what comes out. Spiders found Mars. Spider-like figures were found in an area on the planet Mars. As you can see from new pictures taken by the European Space Agency, it is not about the discovery of life, but rather a natural phenomenon on the red planet. It occurs in the spring around the south pole of Mars when the sun warms the frozen carbon dioxide deposited during the winter. The upper layer does not melt, but the dry ice in the lower layer turns into gas and explodes upwards. It spews dark dust onto the surface, much like water from a geyser on the ground. Then it settles, falls to the ground, and creates spider web-like formations ranging in size from 45 meters to a kilometer. The area is called the City of the Incas, but it is officially known as the Angustus Labyrinthus. It is, as you can see, a linear, almost geometric network of ridges, resembling the ruins of the Incas, which is why the area is named so. Hey, give a thumbs up if everything here is interesting to you, and let's continue with the other news. They made a processor out of human brain cells. Swiss startup Final Spark has officially announced that it has created the world's first processor that uses human brain tissue. The Neuro platform is the first of its kind and incorporates a total of 16 human brain organelles. These are laboratory-grown parts of organs that are viable under certain conditions outside the human body. The company claims that its innovative processor consumes 1 million times less energy than traditional processors and is capable of learning and processing information similar to artificial intelligence or a normal human brain. Final Spark points out that training an AI like ChatGPT, for example, uses approximately 10 gigawatt-hours of power, which is 6,000 times more than the annual energy consumption of an average citizen in Europe. If the claims of the invention are true, and they overcome the ethical issues, the technology could completely revolutionize the manufacturing of processors in the future. Can you really imagine your next computer having a human tissue processor? The pressure on Israel is increasing. The war between Israel and Hamas in Gaza continues for 9 months now, and whatever is happening on the front of the battle, problems for Israel are beginning to pile up. There are pro-Palestinian protests all over the world, in which not only Muslims participate, but people of all religions and nationalities. In the US, if you remember, students blockaded universities, and in April France did not rule out imposing sanctions against Israel. The position of the key ally of the Jewish state, the United States, is similar, and it shows no particular desire to stand firmly on Israel's side. Against this backdrop, even a small country like the Maldives has banned Israeli citizens from entering its territory, joining 13 other countries where Israelis are not welcome. Turkey has banned trade with Israel, and Spain, Norway, and Ireland have officially recognized the Palestinian state. All this is done in order to increase the pressure on Israel to reach a peaceful solution to the conflict. China fakes a waterfall. The funniest story today comes from China. They decided to fake an entire waterfall for the purpose of tourism. The scam was discovered by a tourist who decided to fly his drone to the top of their highest and most famous waterfall called Yuntai. Then he came across 3 pipes that were embedded in the rock and supplied it with water through a system of pumps. The natural landmark is a part of a large-scale park, and Yuntai is considered one of the most impressive in all of Asia. The funniest thing is that the waterfall is declared the highest in China, with its 312 meters. It is even protected by UNESCO as part of an important biological park. The tourist's video goes viral, and the park's management faces massive criticism, and now even legal problems. What did they do? Well, they apologized, but on behalf of the waterfall itself. Here's how it sounds. Like a seasonal landscape. I cannot guarantee that it will be in its most beautiful form every time you come to see me. I made a small improvement only in the dry season to look my best when my friends come to see me. This is why we have a trust problem with Chinese goods. But faking an entire waterfall is a whole new level. even for them. Instagram is testing new ads. The social network Instagram is already testing more annoying and intrusive advertising practices than the current ones, which do not allow you to continue scrolling until you see a 5-second advertisement. Some of the new ads pop right onto people's stories and overlay them, with just a tiny button to remove them. At the moment, the most common ads are for the game Super Gumball on Meta's virtual reality platform, and jumping directly onto the stories of friends gives the false impression that a person is promoting the game in question. The platform is also testing the nightmare of users: unskippable ads. Meta expects people to resent the new annoyance, but hopes that over time they will get used to it and their anger will subside. North Korea releases feces balloons over South Korea. Get ready to see Kim Jong-un deal with pesky issues in a North Korean manner. In response to flyers with pro-South Korean and liberal slogans littering vast areas in super-conservative North Korea, the government there has been collecting them, mixing them with feces, and sending them back to the south by big balloons. 120 such shipments have already been detected, which is why the South has warned residents to be careful. There is, of course, international commentary on the new surprise from Pyongyang, which has been called super low level and even dangerous, as it really is. It is not known whether something else, really dangerous like explosives, is hidden in the vile cargo. South Korea has engaged chemical and biological attack response teams who have been mobilized to pick up the mess. The North commented that this was in response, and I quote here, to the piles of waste paper and dirt that activists in the South have been sending to the North for years, referring, of course, to the flyers criticizing the Kim family regime. The activists also sent flash drives with Western music and pictures of how much better people live in the South, which was unacceptable. Thumbs up if you liked the video and subscribe for more. See you next time.